When teleportation was invented, that cursed infernal machine, all the scientists in the world applauded the great genius of the many men who contributed to the theories for the analysis of space-time. All of them were grateful to the one who had created this great machine capable of moving beyond the speed of light. At the beginning, teleportation was a huge machine contained only in the best spaceships and could carry the ship through the fifth dimension, hyperspace, anywhere. The first teleporters used antimatter engines, and then black hole generators were used, similar to enormous globes that revolved around a gigantic metal sphere, inside which was a tiny black hole that teleported the ship. And then humanity discovered exotic matter, and teleportation became much easier. Anyone could create a wormhole and go wherever they wanted in the universe. Eventually, stargates were discovered, first in Egypt and then on Mars, the famous portals capable of bending space-time like a wormhole, but in a two-dimensional way, as if it were a door. From that moment on, in all the major cities, there were portals to transport goods and people anywhere in the world. But the real revolution came with quantum teleportation, discovered almost by chance as a communication method faster than light. Initially, neutrinos were used, but they were inefficient and slow for communication across the galaxy, so quantum entanglement was used. One of the most curious phenomena of quantum mechanics, two particles can, after being in contact, continue to be connected instantaneously wherever they are, even a million light years apart. If one of the two changes, the other will change as well. It was a great way to communicate, but soon it was discovered that it could also extend to atoms, molecules, cellular structures, instruments, and eventually even to animals. Finally, the first experiment on human subjects with quantum teleportation was conducted. The patient had to enter one cabin and exit the other. When he came out, not even 1 second later, he said, "It's already over." And for the second time, the scientists were applauding, unaware that they were signing their death sentence, our death sentence and that of everyone. Quantum teleportation spread like wildfire. It didn't require too much energy and could transport small things like watches and large things like humans. It had only a few defects. There were 3 small rules to follow before entering a teleporter. 1. Never enter a teleporter with radioactive objects or implanted quantum microchips. 2. Never use a teleporter while, for example, you are aboard a ship traveling at the speed of light. And finally, the 3rd rule, perhaps the most important, never use a quantum teleporter while entering a black hole. Using it in any of these cases could cause horrible things to the one who entered the capsule, such as spatial distortions, time travel, journeys to parallel universes, etc. At the beginning, there were many incidents, severe mutations, abnormal births, some changed personalities, returning screaming, claiming to be someone else, claiming to have seen hell for years of being dead. Some even returned with a clone that behaved differently, but in the end, everything was resolved for the better when teleportation was improved, and everyone was happy. Teleportation really worked without problems and was accessible to everyone, or at least so we thought. Quantum teleportation is not based on an integral transport process. Instead, it is based on a copy and paste process. If I teleport a particle, what I am doing is creating a copy far away, and then the original particle is immediately destroyed. What this means is that quantum teleportation has killed all the humans it has been applied to. Everyone, each one of them, was destroyed in an instant, and then an identical clone, even in the brain, was created on the other side, with the same memories, the same personality, indistinguishable from the original. Even for themselves, they believed they were the original. And how could they deny it? Teleportation, a machine used by 1 million people a day, a physically possible and easy to achieve machine, did nothing but kill all those who entered it. I, too, was born only 3 years ago. Now I realize it. My original body was destroyed, which is why I no longer use teleportation, which is why I have joined protest movements, which is why I try to warn everyone of the danger every time they enter a teleporter. But that's not all. A century ago, they discovered that the human mind, in cerebral synapses, specifically in the retofano rings present in microtubules, undergoes the effects of entanglement. They discovered this when humanity still lived on its first planet, Earth. The same effects of quantum teleportation. We experience them every moment in our brain. The logical deduction of this is chilling. Those who enter teleportation, in addition to being destroyed in an instant, go into entanglement in a new dimension. Their brain is transported along with their consciousness to a dimension reachable only by a black hole or another teleporter. For this reason, it now makes sense everything that the madmen who came out of the teleporter were screaming about, saying they were dead, that they had seen hell, that they were in someone else's body. That wasn't their body. They had, so to speak, installed themselves in someone else's brain, which ended up in their place in that hell there. The conclusion of this entire story is that a human dimension has been created, in which all the victims of teleportation have, so to speak, united in entanglement, and every time one of them manages to get out, taking the place of a new human, the first thing they scream is the same thing that the crew of men who made the journey with a black hole engine for the first time screamed, and then disappeared into nothingness, without anyone hearing from them again. Free them. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to the channel for more creepypastas. Until the next one.